Got it. What is happening? Well, this is, let's see. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm experimenting and I am playing and I am learning, and it's all the grand play. So whether I'm supposed to be here or there, they seem like there's a little bit of a time delay. What is happening? Okay, I am going to go back. I'm going to put this on pause, and I'm going to go back to the Zoom, and I am going to broadcast from here since this is where I originated, and I'm going to check in on my phone on Facebook to see if this is streaming right now, and it is. So I am going to say, greetings, divine mirrors. Let me turn the sacred awakening, remembering gods and goddesses, one and all. Thank you for showing up. Welcome to Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess. We are today in episode number 33. We have been doing this for 33 weeks straight. And for some of us in the spiritual woo-woo realms, the number 33 is an auspicious number. 11, 22, and 33 are all considered master numbers. And I did a little bit of a Google search to see what Google would say about it. And it said, in numerology, 33 is considered a master number. It radiates harmonious and caring energy, emphasizing the importance of helping others and fostering unity. It also promotes creativity and expression, encouraging you to let your artistic side shine. And the first time I heard about master numbers and what the number three meant was about, 20 something years ago. And it was from a person who was really studied in this kind of thing. And he said that the number three is the number of play. And if you have the number three in your chart, then your life is only going to work if play is a big factor. And I remember that Deepak Chopra having said that if a person is in their dharma, you can't actually tell whether they're working or they're playing. And so if you have a 33, the master number 33, then that magnifies the point of play being an integral part of your expression and your experience in the world. And so it seemed like a fitting topic for today, which is the path of play, and something that, quite honestly, I was noticing just last night that I haven't been experiencing enough of. And so I was even, interestingly, I'm kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants girl. And even though I have this fantasy of getting like more polished and more organized and more professional and more dialed in and more planning for the future, like having my guests all picked out for weeks and months in advance and set on a schedule, and all of that sounds so efficient and so organized and so adult, so mature. And yet, the reality is, I am lucky if I can get the promo out for the next week. So we broadcast live on Tuesdays, and I'm lucky if I can get the promo out let's say by Thursday or Friday for the next Tuesday. And more often than not, it doesn't happen until Sunday. And this week, it didn't happen until this morning. So as of last night, I was kind of in this deep existential quandary related to continuing, to be or not to be, whether I should continue doing these broadcasts because, as I was sharing with some people privately, when I first started, just to test myself and learn that I can hold this container for 2 hours with genuine presence and be fully engaged, whether anybody is on here with me or not. Of course, it's more fun and easier when there are people on, but just to, have cultivated this practice, the show must go on, and to show up and to trust whatever is wanting to come through this vessel, to trust the silence, to trust the guests who are showing up without any preparation. And so in the beginning, it was like building a muscle. And after a certain time, it has started to feel, I described it as like a party trick a little bit, because now I know I can do it and it's cool. And even though I am also getting value in terms of um, humbleness and humility, to have a small and mighty following, still there is, this like, be fruitful and multiply. There is this desire to see this baby flourish and take off and have more hands on deck, and more people who are contributing their gifts and their energy in terms of, what is in their wheelhouse, like the technology piece and the marketing piece, and all those kind of things. And so, kind of doing it at the same level, which feels a little rinky-dink and a little amateur, is somewhat frustrating. But what I decided was I didn't want to just disappear, because, as I say, there is a small and mighty following of people who, to my amazement, come on and stay on, generally for the full 2 hours. So something is good and right here in this fast-paced matrix, where everything is like this, 15-second or less soundbite, and to like hold a container for 2 hours and have people stay on here with me is amazing. So I feel really grateful that I do have that. And as I say, I didn't want to just disappear. So I decided, well, 33 is auspicious enough a number for me to come on today, even if it turns out that I decide to take a pause for a little while to regroup, which I'm not sure about. We'll see what happens. We'll see how today goes as I assess it and evaluate what the experience was like. It's interesting because last week I had a guest on who said that he was drawn to this program because of the name of it, Voices of the Global Awakening. And then, of course, he came and was pleased to discover that he really liked the vibe and the content. And so he said, as long as you are doing this, I will come and join you. So hopefully he will do that today. But I had to sort of look at that and go, okay, well, that's really beautiful feedback. And I don't want to be self-sacrificing and codependent with my program watchers, to make their interest in showing up more important than how I'm actually feeling about it. So I still have to sort all that out. Now, what you're listening to right now are the ramblings of the mind of a triple Gemini. And if you know anything about astrology, Gemini is the sign of the twins. I have my sun, my moon, and my Mercury all in Gemini. And so I like to joke and say that I have a committee of 6 in my head that is, oftentimes debating like a rabbinical council and needing to come into resonant harmony just inside my own head, let alone, taking input from the outside. So, all that to say, I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I'm grateful to be here, even though I'm super tired. I had such a jam-packed day out in the world, and so it was a scramble to get myself set up in time. But it all has worked out, and it all has worked out, and I'm here, and I have my phone in my hand because I'm broadcasting from Zoom, and I'm live streaming simultaneously on Facebook Live. I haven't yet figured out how to get it onto Facebook Live and YouTube at the same time. So that's another piece of the puzzle still being worked out. But I see that on Facebook, Stu Schreiber is watching. So welcome to episode number 33, The Path of Play. Thank you for showing up. So I want to start with a song that is kind of running around in my head today, and it seems relevant to the theme. It is called Fight Philosophy. And I'm going to look it up because I haven't sung it in a long time. This is one of my originals, and I think I know it, but you never know. A little word can sort of escape me, and then everything is in suspended animation when that happens. So let's see. Uh, um, yes, here it is. Anyone will tell you that you gotta choose. Pick the right profession. If you snooze, you lose. But I refuse to tie me down. I'm having too much fun. There's such a lot to see and do. I've barely begun. Every day is different, every moment new. Who's to say which road is the right one for you? Desire is a changing thing, the world a grand buffet, and I intend to taste a lot. So listen when I say I'm a joy-seeking being, just inventing my life. I owe nothing to no one, and I don't need no strife. Call me lover or teacher, call me artist or wife. Won't confine me with labels. I'm just playing my fife. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a dream. Come smell the jasmine, come taste the cream. The present is the gift, my friend, don't rush it all away. Since now's the only time that's real, I'm living for today. I'm a joy-seeking being, just inventing my life. I owe nothing to no one, and I don't need no strife. Call me lover or teacher, call me artist or wife. Won't confine me with labels. I'm just playing my fife. Ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. So that's a little funny one. And we're going to keep the vibe. The intention is to keep the vibe light and invite everybody into their childlike sense of play, because I've heard it said that in order to enter the kingdom or queendom of heaven, we must be innocent as children. And if some of us missed our innocence in our childhood or felt as though it was taken from us late, they say it is never too late to have a happy childhood. So I am inviting myself and you, all my mirrors, to come into that space, because this matrix is so intense and so real feeling that I don't know about you, but I surely do tend to get bogged down in the seriousness of it all. And as I say that, I am remembering my report card in my second grade, where my teacher, Mrs. Thompson, gave me all good grades. I always got all good grades. I was a very good girl. But in the comments, she said something to my parents that I was mortified by. She said, Teresa, which is my name without an H, is a very serious little girl. She needs to learn to play more. And I was like, oh my God, it was like the first moment in my life where I realized that I couldn't hide, that I thought I was just kind of, mixing in with the rest of the kids, and I wasn't particularly noticed. And for her to say that suggested that she saw me, and I couldn't hide the fact that I was more somber and aware of the darkness in the world than my classmates at that time. So, learning to play more has been a lifelong mission of mine. And I do appreciate, like I said, the Deepak Chopra thing, that when a person is in their dharma, you can't tell whether they're working or playing. And because I'm all about words and I'm all about songwriting and all about prose and all about poetry and communication, it's super easy for me to get stuck in my left brain, which they say is the masculine side of things. And when I do that, that doesn't feel very good to me. So I long to be taken out of my head. I long to be silly. I long to be lighthearted. I long to be more in my body and dancing and moving and probably need more body work in my life than I tend to get on a regular basis. But I have recently gotten back into swimming. Once I moved into my new place, which is 2 months now, I have a 24-hour fitness 9/10 of a mile away from me. So it's too convenient to not jump on the opportunity to start swimming laps again, which is something that I discovered like when I was in college, we had to take a certain amount of credits of physical fitness. And because that really wasn't my thing, I decided to get that all out of the way by taking what we had at my college in New York was in addition to summer session, which was, I think, 6 weeks, there was something called intersession, which was 3 weeks. And it was just much more compressed and condensed. And so from Monday through Friday for 3 weeks, took tennis from 8 to 10 in the morning and swimming from 10 to 12. And even though I had known how to swim since childhood, that was where I really learned about different strokes and form and stuff. And so, learning about, 1, 2, 3, and take your face up out of the water and bring it back down into the water. And that gesture has always been extremely stressful for me. There's kind of like a panic in the like to make sure to take a big enough breath before I put my face back in the water. And so I've never really liked that part of swimming. So I don't know how many years ago now it is. I had previously joined 24-hour fitness, and the first time I went to try and do the lengths, it wasn't like a full regulation lap, but I learned it's called lengths. Thank you, Stu, for teaching me that. And so I don't know, maybe I was able to do like 6 of them or something, because I was pretty out of shape and been a while since I'd done any kind of working out. I did maybe 6 of them. And then I went to visit a friend of mine who lived on Kauai. And as part of my visit there, she wanted us to go whale watching. And when you get out on a boat and you go whale watching on Kauai, you have an opportunity to get out of the boat and snorkel. And so that, they provided snorkels and masks and fins. And so I put all that gear on, and I had such a good time underwater, not worrying about breathing. And it dawned on me, like, who's to say I can't use a snorkel and a mask and fins in the pool. And even though I look goofy, but it was a game changer. So I came home from Kauai and I ordered all that stuff, and I went back to 24-hour fitness, and I literally jumped from 6 lengths to 20 lengths the first time out. And within a very short time, I was up to about 50 until I moved away from there. And then I didn't have a proper pool to do it in. And I'm more on the lazy end of things. If things are not convenient to me, it's less likely that it's going to get incorporated in my day-to-day routine. I did have a pool where I had moved to, and at the beginning, I was really determined to keep this going. My pool was too small to do those kind of lengths. It was like 3 strokes, and I was at the end of the pool. So I did a little research, and I ended up getting this a belt with a bungee cord attached to it, attached to there was a little hole in like the shallow end of the pool where the steps were that you could put a beach umbrella inside. It was kind of cool. You could put a beach umbrella so you could sit inside the water in the summertime. This was up in Murrieta where it can get like 108, 112 degrees. So you can sit under this shade umbrella in the water. So I connected the backside of my bungee cord to that. And so this way I could stay in one place and just keep paddling and paddling and paddling with my snorkel and mask, my face in the water, and kind of get a little bit of that experience. But it's a different thing when you are in like an athlete's pool and you're doing that. So I came back to that a few weeks ago, and now it's been a few weeks since I've done it because I don't know if you'd seen, I had a little scare, ended up in the emergency room. I guess I pinched a nerve in my thigh, having overdone it on the weights. I forgot my swim gear one day, and I have a friend who's visiting me right now, and she likes to use the weights, and so I went to the weights with her, and I did these leg presses, and I had too much weight on it, and I felt either something pull or tear or whatever. And within a few days or a week, something I was woken up in the middle of the night with this severe, excruciating cramp that I thought, like, if it didn't stop soon, I was gonna like leave my body. It was so painful. And um and at that time I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. And I read and it was the second cramp that I had gotten in a few weeks. And the first one had nothing to do with any of it. But then I went to the internet and I did a little research, and I saw that if you have a dry hacking cough that is unexplained and it's not going away, you could have a blood clot. So that was the symptom that was like the wake up call that I better I better talk to somebody. And my friend said, why don't you call the triage nurse through your health insurance? And I did, and I described the symptoms, and this was like 2:30 in the morning, and she said, you better get yourself to the emergency room right now. Don't wait for the morning. And so we did, and fortunately, I don't have a blood clot, and knock whatever. And but it still sort of stings and itches. And even though probably swimming wouldn't hurt it, I haven't been that inspired to get back into the water yet. But anyway, so when we got Stu, and now Rich Davidson has joined. Welcome, both you guys. If you I meant to post it in the description for this live here on Facebook, but I'm just figuring this stuff out. So I didn't get to it. But if you would like to come on to the Zoom and chat live with me, our topic today is the path of play. And you can go to my page, and pinned to the top right now is information with a link to get onto the Zoom. It would be a pleasure to have you here with me so that I would be in more engaged dialogue with you guys rather than talking to myself. So that's an invitation that is out there, and feel free to take me up on it, or stay right where you are if you're happy and comfortable, because we're going to keep going regardless. So anyway, that was a big story. I'm going to take a sip of water now. Mm. So, if you're just joining, like you, Rich, in the beginning, I said that This is episode number 33. And that's an auspicious number. And you know that you're an astrologer, I think. So you probably know very much about this. And in numerology, 33 is considered a master number. I'm reading this from Google. It radiates harmonious and caring energy, emphasizing the importance of helping others and fostering unity. It also promotes creativity and expression, encouraging you to let your artistic side shine. So I think that doing Voices of the Global Awakening Tuesdays with Tess for episode number 33 is very much in alignment. And so I decided to make this episode be about the path of play because I don't know, you may remember, Rich, when Stu and I first came to San Diego, we arrived here with Matthew John, and Matthew John was a master astrologer and numerologist and Mayan calendar guy. And he was the first person to introduce us to master numbers, and three being the number of play, and it being a 33, the number of play being magnified exponentially. So if you have that in your chart, then play has to be part of your dharma, or things are not going to go so great for you. And so that seemed to be a beautiful reason to do this episode today and focus on play. And it's very, very much in alignment with what I normally talk about, which is the Shakespearean quote that all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. And so if the play is the thing, as Shakespeare said, then when we play, when we take on a character, even if our character is serious, even if our character is going through difficult circumstances, there's a thrill of getting to play this character. There's a thrill of getting to play this part. And I assert that since all of us are souls who have donned a particular character and costume for this incarnation and this lifetime, if we can know that rather than getting so lost in the character that we forget that this is a play and that we're playing. And we reserve a portion of our awareness to step back and observe ourselves in character and observe ourselves in relationship with other characters and observe the performance of the other characters. Because I don't know about you, but when I saw Silence of the Lambs, watching Anthony Hopkins play Hannibal Lecter was fascinating. And even though it was horrifying, it was still fascinating. And I remember feeling, I wonder what Jodie Foster feels like to be interacting with this brilliant actor who is portraying such evil with such glee, like so relishing getting to play such a heinous role. And what if we could enjoy playing our parts, enjoy watching one another play our parts, realize that we are all perfect characters. Each and every one of us is a perfect character, perfectly drawn, perfectly conceived, perfectly crafted, with our own unique expression, our own unique idiosyncrasies, our allergies, our proclivities, our preferences, our aversions, all the things, our level of education, our language, our impediments, our handicaps. It's like there's such a diversity and there's so much brilliance in the originality in each and every single one of us, that what if we could step back from our own angst and our own suffering and still be like, wow, I am so privileged and I am so blessed to get to play me. Hey, Anna, you are welcome to, I forgot to post it in the description because I'm still learning how to work it out to be here on two platforms. I'm trying to get to three platforms. But if you go to the top of my page, you will find a pinned post that I put up there this morning, which has the link to the Zoom. And if you wanted to come into the Zoom room and chat with me on the subject of play, the path of play, I would be delighted and I'd love to have you. So it's nice to see you here. If you type comments, I have got my phone active with the sound off, so I'm not hearing myself on delay, but I can read your comments and we can interact that way. More fun by far if you would like to, instead of being here, come into the Zoom room and come online with me. So that is just got out of a beginning jazz dance. Good for you. Did you enjoy it? That is the path of play to get back into dance. Was that fun for you? I was in Austin, which is where we met when we were at a Jesse Elder a workshop, however many years ago that was. And this past, I think it was October, driving, and yes, oh, cool, okay. This past October, I was again in Austin for a couple of workshops. One was a completion retreat after having spent 9 months in an online program with the badass Isabella Braveheart. And so I spent a few days with her, and then Monique Darling was having a workshop that all of us who participated in Isabella's retreat were invited to stay for a weekend. And so I got to be back in Austin again, and it was all about play. Our whole experience there was all about play. So, but that's where Anna and I met, and so it's been a thrill and a joy watching you unfold and give yourself permission to be a fully expressed being, and that's what it's about. It's like the more unadulterated that we can allow ourselves to become, the more we can deconstruct the programming that put us in these appropriate straitjackets where we stopped being ourselves and we were more, paranoidly and self-consciously concerned about fitting in. The more free we can be, and the more free we can be, the more our energy will raise and lift, and the more joyous that we can be. Uh, it's great to be witnessed, sister. A woman. It is great to be witnessed. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Especially those of us who, from our family of origin stuff, felt unseen in any type of a way, and to realize that does not have to be our lifelong experience. We get to reparent ourselves. We get to witness ourselves. We get to reprogram ourselves and give ourselves the permission that we were lacking in our earlier years. So, as I said a couple of times now on this broadcast, it's never too late to have a happy childhood. I believe I learned that slogan when I used to attend ACOA meetings in New York. Out here, they call it ACA. Either way, it is 12-step meetings, adult children of alcoholics. Neither of my parents were alcoholic, I need to say. However, I was in therapy in my late 20s in New York, and I was directed to attend these meetings. I think it was by my therapist, but as I'm saying that, I'm actually thinking about it might have been the friend who came from an alcoholic family who recommended me to that therapist, who may have got me started on the meetings. And she said it was a really good place to go for people who perceive themselves as having come from dysfunctional families of origin. And I believe it was in those 12-step programs that I first heard that expression. It's never too late to have a happy childhood. And that really, really spoke to me, because If you know me, you know that I was pretty much mother to my mother since I could talk and listen. And back in those years, they did not have any kind of therapeutic programs for people coming out of war to clear themselves and to empty all the unconscionable pain and suffering that they witnessed and were subjected to. And so I became the repository for my mother's need to empty. And so as a child, I learned about things that are a lot for a little child to hold. And so I became an adult very quickly. And so to be um, giving myself permission now to reclaim that part of myself. And for this to be episode number 33, I don't know if you heard this part, Anna. This is episode number 33, which is a master number. It is the number of play, it is the number of creativity, it is the number of unity and community. So it just feels super fun to be here and to be um, pointing to this need. I mean, what is taking place on the world stage right now is so serious and so heavy and so horrifying and so heartbreaking on so many levels that we need to find ways to breathe and we need to find ways to blow off steam. And in the midst of all of it, remember what a privilege, miracle, and blessing it actually is to get to exist. And, there's that expression that misery loves company, but the truth is that the greatest contribution that we can make to the collective, to the field, is by being in our light and emitting a happy frequency and a grateful frequency and a joyful frequency and a frequency that whatever is going on, it's still a privilege to get to be here. And that is where I am choosing to stand. And it's not like I have this nailed down and I can do it 24/7, but I recognize that it is a healthy healing path. And so to practice and practice and practice and practice and to help others, which by the way, I should say that right now I have two two spaces opening up in my schedule for one-on-one coaching clients. And if you enjoy my frequency and my perspective and my take on life and think that you may derive value from working with me, why don't you DM me and we will set up an exploratory session to see if we're a fit and inspired to work together. So that is my offer to you on the table today, and I hope that some of you will take me up on it. So anyway, if any of you have any thoughts or uh, perspectives on this concept that is on the table here today, the path of play, I would love to hear from you because we all have a piece of the puzzle. So your perspective is as valid and enlivening and enriching as mine. So please do feel invited and comfortable to share. It's a very friendly platform, and I love holding a space open for you to get to express yourself. So, okay, I'm going to take another sip of water and I am going to drop into the silence and invite you to take a deep breath and drop into the silence with me and let us tune in to see what is alive and what is wanting to be expressed next. Oh, I know. I'm looking back over the notes here. The reason that I brought up Austin is because you said you just got out of a beginning jazz class. And when I was in Austin, I was exposed for the first time to a Zouk, Zouk dance class. And it is also a Latin dance. And it was so much fun, despite my clumsiness of being there for the very first time. I was smiling ear to ear throughout the entire lesson. And I'm actually looking for a Zouk class to take back here in San Diego. So if you haven't checked it out and it is available in your area, I absolutely encourage you to give it a shot. You can go on YouTube and look up Zouk, Z-O-U-K, dance and see like people who know what they're doing and how beautiful it is and how joyful. It's a very joyful partner dance, and it's romantic and it's playful, and it's just a lovely thing. So, okay, now I'm really going to go into the silence for a little bit. I guess what I'm feeling to say right now is that if we can remember and give ourselves permission to infuse a sense of play into our experiences, into our encounters, we can soften them. We can take the edge off. We can make the experience more palatable. You know, my father would tell stories about like the most horrible moments when he was an inmate in a concentration camp, and the Nazi commanders would give such harsh, ridiculous instructions that were so inhumane and insensitive. And I don't even want to tell you any of the stories right now. I've talked about them before. I don't need to repeat them. My father would have to contain his laughter because the absurdity was so incomprehensible that I believe that it was his sense of humor that got him through. And there would be times that my father would tell stories, and there were times my father would tell jokes, and he would crack himself up so hard he couldn't get the punchline out. But it was such a delight just to get to watch him laugh till tears were streaming down his face. So we all need that. We all need that release, that pressure relief valve, and giving ourselves permission to see the humor in even the most absurd, even the most heinous experience that we're going through, or that is happening in the world. I mean, that's why things like Hogan's Heroes were made, or um, uh, there was a Broadway show. I can't think of the name of it right now, but that was based on a film. Stu probably remembers. It was a Mel Brooks thing, and it's like it's like humor is such a great gift. It's such great medicine. I mean, there's things called laughter yoga. People have healed themselves of cancer through laugh therapy. And so it's like if we can if we can decide, make a point of incorporating that into our experience, give ourselves that permission to be as a child, to enter the kingdom of heaven, to be innocent, to not take everything so seriously. You know, it just seems like we have that tool available to us. We should use it. I mean, when you step back and you take the divine view and you sort of distance yourself from circumstances, the fact that we're here at all, the fact that we're in these bodies and that we're breathing and we have looks and personalities and um, experiences and jobs and careers and talents and food and all the things that we share, all the things that we get to experience is so miraculous. I mean, I think it was the Buddha who said, if you are not laughing to yourself, chuckling to yourself every 2 minutes, then your focus is off, because we're in this divine play and we take our roles and we take our relationships and we take our circumstances really seriously. But the truth of the matter is that we are holographic projections. We are 99.9999999% empty space, as proven by quantum physics. So we are really these ephemeral beings that have been kind of hypnotized and inculcated into seeing ourselves as dense matter and seeing this whole dream as dense matter. And so we walk around with this heaviness and this weight and this somberness. And really, it's a miracle. It's all a miracle. So maybe we can step back a little bit. And not take it all so seriously. Can I convince any of you to come on here? I would like to know, and you can type it in the comments, what delights you? What brings you pleasure? What brings you joy? What makes your heart sing? What makes you feel young and mischievous and silly and um, lighthearted? That's what I would like to know. Could you type some of that in the chat? And I'm going to look for another song that might be appropriate. I got one. What's the matter, honey? You don't want to have it all? What's the matter, honey? You're too old to have a ball. What's the matter, honey? Can't you stand to have your way? Everyone but you deserves to love and play today. Oh, what's the matter, honey? You don't like to share your things? What's the matter, honey? Don't you see what freedom brings? What's the matter, honey? Can't you feel how great this is? Everything that's mine is yours and hers and theirs and his. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. Oh, don't resist me, honey. I'm a gift from God to you. Don't resist me, honey. I was sent to waken you. Don't resist me, honey. I'm the answer to your prayers. I have come to lead you home beyond your old nightmares. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. You gotta let me in now. If you wanna win, just look on past the skin and see. I'm the one you call for. I'm the one you'd fall for. Let me set your spirit free. Cross the door to ecstasy. God is here, never gone. Love is all, pass it on. God is here. Welcome. Nice to see you. We finally got you. Got you in the room.
Yeah, just got home. Just
Yeah,
got, yep.
you look really cute in your dance clothes.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
the first class I've ever taken in, I don't know, the jazz class.
First dance class ever or first jazz class
No,
ever?
first jazz class. I can dance salsa and most Latin dances, but jazz is very foreign to me. This whole
Uh-huh.
thing is crazy for me because I want to go. So it was awesome. I have three left feet, and today I eliminated one of them.
Oh, that's very powerful. That's very productive of you.
Yeah, it's
That's
cool.
cool.
And
So is it like once a week, twice a week? You're gonna keep
yeah, it's
going?
once a week. It's on Tuesdays, afternoon, late afternoon. Um, the gym that I usually go to work out with weights and stuff. Yeah, it's fun.
Awesome.
I'm extending myself,
Good.
expanding.
It looks like it's working because your spirit feels very light.
Well, I just also just spent a whole week up in Ashland, Oregon
That's
with
right.
my dear friends Kevin and Wendy. And yeah, it was very relaxing, very healing. I needed to get out of here.
Uh-huh.
Needed to be away from my beautiful and very challenging daughter. Um, yeah, so it's been good. And I've had since that crazy time that I logged into your program and I was falling apart and I couldn't even talk. I've had some really beautiful shifts with on my own and with another friend who's very good at what she does. So yeah, I'm feeling good at the moment.
Very good. Yay. And you got your endorphins
Oh yeah,
flowing, dance, and very nice. Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Thank you.
Yay. So you're finding all kinds of ways to play.
Yes, absolutely. When you started talking about play, I said, yeah, that's my thing. I just want to play.
Yeah.
I don't want to do anything else.
Girls just want to have fun.
And
Right.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Are you working in any art right now
Um,
or playing with
I
anything?
am working on yes, I'm working on an idea. It's percolating very carefully and slowly. There'll be a lot of symbolism in it. Um, I'm writing a lot about it. Yeah, no, I yes. And this week in Ashland, Kevin is an artist himself, so we got to do art together, collaborative art,
Fun.
and that always fills my cup, um, to make art with other people. And I learned a couple of techniques with him, and I taught him a couple of my own techniques. So that was cool.
Oh, that's so good. So when you mentioned symbolism before, it occurred to me to ask you, do you do you know in advance, like do you get like hits in advance about what you're going to put on the canvas, or does it emerge and then you realize the symbolism that's there?
Well, there's a lot of repetition lately in my compositions. You can tell
I
from
love that.
behind me.
I
There,
love
yeah, there's certain things that show up all the time, and that's just because they are. in my DNA, in my culture, in my, all of that. But every, hold on. Oh, every painting takes a while to manifest because it does evolve slowly, and yeah, new symbolism has to show itself to me, and it has to really feel right in my body, in my heart,
Hmm.
and my mind for me to
Hmm.
use it. So yeah, it takes time. Usually a painting takes about a month to
Oh,
to to work out. Yeah.
usually what size are you working with
Well,
the
I've
paint?
been working small size, 8.5 by 10.5, but I'm expanding to bigger size. Like this one behind me is I think it's like 24 by 30. It's
Is
pretty
that an
big.
actual painting behind you, or have you made it a wallpaper
No,
on
this,
Zoom?
yeah, it's wallpaper, but the painting is right there across
Oh,
the room.
cool. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Beautiful. It looks great.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is it's really a vision board.
Uh-huh.
It's my vision. So let's see if I can. Past, future,
Uh-huh.
and this is now.
Powerful.
Yeah,
That's really powerful.
thank
And
you.
is she representing you?
Yeah, she's me.
She's you. And then he is.
Oh, he's still yet to manifest in my life.
Uh-huh. But he stands behind you,
He stands behind me,
backing you up.
and the sword, you can't tell, you can't see, but the sword says boundaries.
Ooh. Wow. That's
Yeah.
very powerful.
And you can't see the whole painting. The bottom of the painting is an Ouroboros. It's a snake eating its own tail. So there's the symbology, the symbolism that
And
comes
what
in.
does that mean to you?
Oh, well, it's a powerful symbol of infinity, transformation. You know, I've used it in the form of an eight. So she's eating her tail, but she's also twisting around herself.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, I don't usually explain a lot about what the symbols mean to me because, these are works of art that are meant to be for the world. So I let people figure it out for
Mm-hmm.
themselves, what
Have
it
their own
means.
interpretation, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And it's really amazing how they really trigger powerful things in people. Like I sold a bunch of these paintings last year, and one of the people who bought some of the paintings from me reflected back to me what they said to her, and I was blown away.
Wow.
I was blown away. This woman basically said, "You're painting my life."
Wow.
It blew me away because I thought I was painting my life.
Well, it shows you how much more alike than not alike we are,
Yeah,
you know.
true,
Yeah.
true,
Hmm.
true.
Hmm.
Yeah. How about
Wow.
you, Tess? What have you been doing besides um, sharing your beautiful wisdom with us every Tuesday?
Well, I moved into my own place finally after 3 years house hunting, January 10th. And
Wonderful.
and so I mean it's a canvas. It's
Right.
the interior design and the feng shui is a creative expression. So I love that. And this place it's beautiful. I don't know if you saw some of the video that I was showing it around, not furnished, but
Hmm.
um it's not what I was looking for. I was looking for, you were at my house in Murrieta, so you saw I was in a 2,800 square foot house, and I was really looking for a single story, even bigger than that,
Mm.
because I wanted to have like a big community house. And what I ended up in is 1,800 square feet, two-story, three-bedroom, 2.5 baths. So it's much smaller. So I have a lot of like creative figuring out what I'm keeping, what I'm letting go of, and how to optimize the space so that I have as many spacious gathering areas for my intentions as it relates to the kind of events that I will want to do. They're going to have to be smaller and more intimate than I intended, but it's an interesting challenge. And I was at a point of, I was staying with friends for so long. My last friend, I was at her place for 13 months, which I
Yeah,
never expected to be.
yeah.
And she was kind of like on the edge with me every time. It was like, are you taking it? No, I'm not taking it. Are you taking it? No, I'm not taking it. And so when it came to this, I realized that I can't just be a sovereign decision maker because I have to take somebody else's feelings into consideration. I didn't
Mm.
want to move out of her place and go be renting a room someplace else while I kept looking. And after 3 years of being in limbo, it was like, you know what? I need to let go of the idea of this being my forever place. And just so many different signs were pointing to this being right. Like, for example, the street that you come in off the main drag is called Beethoven. The development is called Sonata. The townhouse section of it where I am is called Allegro. My street is Concerto Glen,
Oh my
and the two nearby streets to me are Inspiration uh, Place and Vortex. No, Inspiration Lane and Vortex Place. And so it was like, all right, okay, okay. So
I
this,
know, universe. You can't be any more specific then.
yeah. So it was like, okay, so I'm calling this a portal and a perch. It's not my full-on vision, but I'm seeing it as a kind of model home for me to invite people into so that they can feel the vibe and the energy of what it is that I want to create. And maybe from there I will get my benefactors and investors and go, wow, we really like what you're doing. Yeah, we can see this.
Right.
Because I talk about it, it's different than giving people an experience. So here's my little my,
Yeah, and it's powerful to downsize. I downsized from I don't you haven't been you didn't get to be in my house.
I
My
didn't.
house is about 1,500, 1,800 square feet, three bedroom, two bath, plus a huge studio upstairs. And I downsized to a studio apartment. It's a one room apartment.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I had to get rid of a lot of stuff. I had to purge a lot of stuff. I had to let go of so
Hmm.
much of my past. And do the same thing you did. I did not like it. I still, this is not where I want to live. Um,
Hmm.
but and I also realized I think this is where I need to be for a while until I can be in the space that I really want to be.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
might be back in my own home,
Hmm.
kicking out the tenants, or it might be maybe even in Portugal. I don't know,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Um, and that's why you have that. Those that's the Pacific, that's the Atlantic.
Ah,
I have
uh-huh.
my feet on both hemispheres. So
Wow.
that's my wish to um to be in both if I can. So we'll
Yes.
see. But yeah, it's powerful to downsize. It's not easy, but really good for the soul.
It's a meditation. I used to have a friend who would say sorting is a sacred process. and it really is determining what still has meaning and value, and what still has meaning and value, but it also carries weight, and it's time to release that. Yeah. Yeah.
True.
So that is the main thing that I've been occupied with. And then my little doggy has been having some health challenges. And then I was in the emergency room, and I've got
Why?
I thought I had a blood clot in my thigh. It turns out I have a severely pinched nerve.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's painful, but it's not a blood clot. So I'm very glad. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, like life, like 3D has been very dense, and some of my projects here in making this home to my liking have fallen apart, like that beautiful gazebo that I put in that got
I
trashed. And
saw that. Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So it's like a lot of like doing things again. And I had to purchase my own washer and dryer and refrigerator, even though it's a rental. And I didn't want to spend a fortune on, because I'm trying to downsize. I don't know why these big heavy appliances to be schlepping elsewhere with me. So I bought everything used on OfferUp. And I was so happy with my purchases. I felt like I had really trustworthy people, and they were good quality items, and both of them have needed maintenance already. So
oh,
it's just been like 3D has been kicking my butt a little bit. So I've just been doing the best I can to stay peaceful and grateful and trusting and curious, and have my sense of humor. Yeah, have my sense of humor about everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working on reclaiming my space. My daughter has been living with me for a year now.
Uh-huh.
And I had to give her deadlines. She needs to get out of here by June 1st. Because it's not healthy anymore. It's
Right.
she's almost 30. She needs to go fight the world on her own. I can't be her savior
Hmm.
forever.
Hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to reclaiming my space, reclaiming my own routine. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. I wish it was right now. Patience, patience, patience.
Yeah, well,
Everything.
you feel like you're doing really well, and
Thank
I'm
you.
nice.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
You do.
yeah. It's so good to see you.
You too.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make some dinner now.
Okay, thanks for
I'll
coming
let
on.
you go.
Okay, well,
Love you,
have a good
and I'll
evening.
try and um check back in next week if I'm available, if I'm around. So
Okay,
you start at what time? I forgot.
5 to 7. It's for
Five
every
to seven. Okay.
Pacific.
So right. So this class is at 4:15 to 5:15. So
Mhm.
I will be late, but I'll try and check in.
Awesome.
All right. Love you,
This,
hun.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Aw, that was so fun. So now I'm going back to Facebook, and I'm seeing that an answer to my how do you like to play? Stu says singing karaoke, eating good food, hiking up a big hill or mountain, playing tennis, swimming, bicycling. John Baldwin, I can relate. I often find humor in life. That is excellent. Stu, Zumba, soaking in a jacuzzi, painting. John, I remember going to see a film with Deepak Chopra on joy. And of course, he was coming up with profound wisdom on how to achieve this. But during the screening, there was a golden retriever, and Hat kept coming up to me and licking me. And I recall that dog gave me more joy than ideas from the film. Sometimes it's those simple things that matter most. Absolutely. Geo is here. Yay, it's back on Facebook again. Hi, Geo. It was on Facebook. I'm on Zoom, and it was on Facebook last week, but I guess you just found it this time, didn't find it last week. Stu, I love Anna's painting. Eben is here. Hi, Eben. Chuck Johnson is watching. Hello, everyone. Nice to see all of you here. And I did not get to put in the description because this is new for me to be broadcasting from Zoom onto Facebook instead of directly to Facebook Live. So there's all kinds of glitches and learning curve. So I did not get to post in the description for Facebook Live the link if you would like to come on and chat with me in the Zoom room. If you would like to come on and chat with me in the Zoom room, what there is for you to do is go to the pinned post at the top of my profile page, and you will see the post invitation that I made earlier today, and the Zoom link is there. In fact, since I have my phone, what I can do is grab that information and come back here and come back here and type it in the comments. Right there. So there, just made it that much easier. If you want to come on and chat with me, you can do it. Yay. Okay, so if you are just tuning in, or if you have tuned in since wait a minute, I'm hearing myself in feedback. I have to, yeah, okay, that's better. If you tuned in sometime after the beginning, this is Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess. This is episode number 33, which is an auspicious master number in numerology. And I'm going to go back to the little screenshot I took of what Google said about it, and it says in numerology, 33 is considered a master number. It radiates harmonious and caring energy, emphasizing the importance of helping others and fostering unity. Like, how much more perfect? It also promotes creativity and expression, encouraging you to let your artistic side shine. And if we incorporate the be as a child again aspect, it is about childlike creativity, lightheartedness, and expression. And if you have a 3 in your chart, and then if you have a 33, it is exponentially magnified that your path must include play. If you want to be successful in life and not just materially successful, but where your heart is happy and light, then figuring out how you get to be a child again and get a little unadulterated is what there is to do. And I have Geo coming into the Zoom room. Yay. Where I There you are. Ask you to unmute. It says ask you to unmute, or can I do it? Um,
I can do it. I can do it. Hello
you
there,
did
Jeff.
it.
Hey,
How you doing?
good. I've got to turn the sound off over on the phone here. But I'm doing well. I am doing well. I just actually finished up with almost a 2 hour, not my own presentation, but somebody else's presentation. So uh, I'm uh, I'm doing good, but I'm a little tired.
What was that on?
It was actually on the kind of on your topic area. Well, I think at your topic, you never really know, but it was this Korean fellow, Vince. I don't get his name correct, but he is a speaker trainer basically. So
Okay.
he trains people around the use of voice and story and speaking and different things like this. And I've done many trainings around this topic myself, but I'm a student of my craft, and he's a master. He's a master at it, and so I signed up for his program.
Awesome. And are you still in
Yeah.
Mexico?
I am in Mexico, and another one of my little small challenges. You'd be quite proud of me, but since my recovery from well, my and what I'm talking about is my eating. My since my recovery from the dengue, my eating has been about I'm going to say about 90% vegan. And so yes, I know you're the champion for this. Yeah. And zero animal, so the only meat that I've been eating is fish, which is, it's the
Still an
food.
animal.
I know, it's still an animal. I know. You're a purist because you're so funny.
Ask the fish if it's an animal.
Uh, you're a purist because I was thinking the same thing as I'm having some honey this morning. I'm like, oh, this would not pass the purist vegan test. But those are the only meats that I've been eating, and I attribute it really to two things. Well, a few things really. I mean, of course, and this is, to your message that you have to share, and to give some praise for your message, which is just to be around people who it's important to, and so I hear you, you talk about it. And the thing that really, those two things that really were probably the biggest, points that I can identify. And one of them is completely non-logical, but it's the time that I spent at the Yogananda ashram in Encinitas this summer. And, Yogananda said this. He's like, when you come, to, a place where, evolved beings, have, done their work and everything, you're going to be uplifted, and you will notice, changes that will happen. And he said, and he'd had this question before, which is, how do I stop doing these things, that I want to stop doing? And he says, when you're around the presence of high energy and high energy places, you will, and you do the practice, that you just won't want it anymore.
It's gonna fall away. Yeah.
Yeah, you just won't want it anymore. And that's how I feel, with the meat. I mean, I was not a big meat eater anyways, in the last few years, but occasionally.
Mhm.
And certainly before that I was. And again, to the opposite side, particularly when I was, running a really busy company, man, my eating was, I thought it was good. But then I started to have some health problems like in my early 50s. And I went to a naturopath, and the first thing she did was to, have me make a chart of what I was actually eating.
Mhm.
It wasn't,
You
it
were
was
horrified.
it was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible, particularly the times, like I'd be eating like a steak, at 10 o'clock at night,
Mm,
and maybe even ice cream and some alcohol, at 10 o'clock at night, because the end of my, super busy day.
right.
Anyways, that, and then the dengue really did help me. People, made mention about how, I don't know, whatever they thought I was interesting in my remarks about it, but it really did help me tremendously
You
because,
look like you look like you've lost weight and you look
yeah.
radiant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's I haven't weighed myself, but I'm gonna guesstimate that I probably lost 20 pounds.
Wow.
And yeah, my skin tone, my energy, my circulation is noticeably better.
Let me know when you want to do a 40-day water fast.
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing because as I came off the forced, the no desire to eat, which was about 7 days. And
Mhm.
as I was in bed, I was, looking at, videos from fasting experts. And because I had wanted to do that, that was the reason
Mhm.
why I thought the dengue was so good, because I wanted to do it. I just couldn't, find the motivation. So I spent another 5 days with a water fast.
Mm, mhm,
And then, of
mhm,
course, one of my clients right now, this is his area of expertise, and he
mm.
he has lost 65 pounds in quite a short period of time, and has really accelerated his energy level. He and I,
Fasting, fasting.
um, I don't know all the details. I know he talks a lot about what do you call it, intermittent fasting,
Mhm, mhm,
but he
mhm.
did shaman training with the Four Winds School. and that's I forget there's two people who are the teachers of it, but they have a book, or he wrote a book called uh, what's it called? Build a New Body.
Oh,
Yeah. And so I didn't read the book. I bought the book, but I didn't read it. But what I
just like
referenced
sleep with it under your pillow.
exactly, it was near me. But the reference point that I got, and as I was listening to these, these truly experts, the one person who has a center in Florida on fasting, super skilled, medical expert around it. And one of the things that they have a particular term, and this is the same term that this person, the head of the Four Winds Shaman School talks about, which is that the body will it will basically eat up anything that it doesn't need. This is during, water fasting. It will
Mhm.
You'll eat up anything it doesn't need, and it will use that to regenerate what it does need. There's a very particular term for it, and this is a medical expert. He's a doctor, and so his knowledge is not a bunch of fluff. There's kind of scientific medical knowledge behind it, which is the same thing that I think Jose Villanova is his name. I don't quite get it right, but he says the same thing. And he had in his time with the shamans in Peru, I think this is how he contracted some kind of not a virus, but something like that, basically, that was eating up his body and eating his brain. So one of those kind of really horrible type of disease, like he should have died,
Mhm. Mhm.
but he regenerated his body through this basically water fasting, essentially.
So good. It's
Yeah,
so good.
yeah, so good. And I learned, like I said, watching the
I
video.
love to know that word when you remember it or
Okay.
find it.
Well,
So
yeah, I'll
yeah,
share it with you. Yeah, it's a medical term, and the this person talking about the shaman teacher, he basically talks about it in reference to, how the body, regenerates itself. It will regenerate the cells. And I didn't know about that. Like I said, I got it, through the book a little bit, but then hearing the scientific, from the medical profession, I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, that's an amazing thing. So the body will actually regenerate itself, and that's how my body feels now. I mean, my skin is much better. My nails, much better. My vitality,
I
much
see
much
it.
better.
I
Yeah,
see it. Mhm.
yeah.
Hey,
So
yeah,
yeah, that's
I'm actually cleansing right now. I'm on a digestive cleanse that it was created by a doctor named Richard Anderson, and it's called the Clean Me Out system,
okay.
and he wrote a book that goes along with it called Cleanse and Purify Thyself. Yeah. And this cleanse has been a part of my life and Stu's life for probably 30 years, almost 30 years. It was introduced by a cousin of mine. When I first started dating Stu, he was horrified to learn that I only eliminated a couple of times a week. And I'm so used to that, having done it like that my whole life, that I didn't know that was a problem, that was not healthy. And his mother had had colon cancer, and she had, like, I don't know, 10 feet or something of her colon removed. So his alarm bells went off, and he's like, no, 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 we got to deal with this. And so my cousin shared this cleanse with us, and we did it, and it was absolutely life-changing. And the most interesting testimonial, there were so many testimonials in the book that stays with me to this day, was from a woman who said that her whole life she felt like she had a hard lump in her gut, and
Uh-huh.
every internist, every specialist she went to believed that it was psychosomatic. They could
Mm.
not pick up anything in an x-ray. They just thought it was in her head. And she was on this cleanse, and she started to get stomach cramps, and she went to the bathroom, and she passed something that when it hit the bowl, it clanged like metal.
Oh no.
She took it out and rinsed it off. This is really gross. I can't believe I'm
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
And but it's so funny because I'm gonna go on a tangent for a second. About 20 years ago, I went to a banquet in Washington, D.C. with my brother. It was a black tie event, and it was a VIP. We were like, he was a VIP, so we got to go to the VIP cocktail hour in advance. So everybody is formal, and I'm wearing this long blue gown, which was funny because eventually I got to shake President Clinton's hands, and I was wearing a blue dress.
Wow. Did you get any
But
pictures? Did you get pictures?
no
Oh,
pictures. But I got his charisma. It was
oh yeah.
really unbelievable. Like his personal magnetism was
Yeah.
his life force was so strong. But anyway, in the cocktail hour, the VIP cocktail hour, I met Isaac Hayes. And I don't know how it happened, but he and I got into a conversation about digestive cleanses, and we're like at a cocktail formal party, and we're like high-fiving each other on eliminating mucoid plaque for avoiding it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so anyway, so this woman hit this thing she took out of the bowl on the side until it broke open, and it was all this it was multicolored, and she instantly remembered all the crayons she'd eaten when she was like 5 years old.
Oh my goodness. Wow. 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 That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, because in our society we so are conditioned to overeat. To protect us from the toxicity in our own system, our body creates layer upon layer of mucoid plaque. So the food that we've eaten doesn't have a chance to be digested and leave before we put more food in.
Yes.
And so going on a cleanse and going on a fast and moving all of that out of the body is just like
Yeah. Yeah. That's
so
that's
refreshing.
that's what
It's
that's
a
what
reset.
happens. Yeah. And
It's a reset.
the medical professional in Florida, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I did drop in Alberto Villota, and it's
Grow
growing
a new body.
grow a new
How
body.
spirit empowered plant nutrients can transform your health.
And
So
it is essentially, again, I didn't read the book, so I, can't really say everything about it other than, it is definitely along the lines of exactly what you're talking about and what I'm talking about right now. And
uh-huh.
it is that the body will regenerate itself. And anyways, this medical expert in Florida, he had some also very disturbing stories in terms of some of the clients that he has worked with, because he has worked with some clients who had there's one disease I think called elephant foot disease, and it's really where the body really gets massive like tumor like conditions basically, and he has helped one of his patients to basically do that, to grow a new body. But yes, in the process the body does this very disturbing elimination of what you just described, the things that are in the body. And I actually had a little bit, thank God and knock on wood, it wasn't too horrible. But at the very, very end, as I'm, introducing, steamed vegetables back into my body, I had one night where all of a sudden I had this pain. It was like being kicked in the nuts. I mean, that is truly the way to describe it. It was it was horrible. And what I realized is that it was in my kidney. And so luckily I had been also, watching other experts, on, like all of us, I spent a little time, but I don't waste my time. I learned really valuable things. And from this Qigong expert, and he, I've been doing these tapping things. And so I immediately started tapping, around my liver. And it must have been a stone of some sort, and thank God it moved itself through,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
yeah,
Wow.
thank God, because it was getting painful to the point it was like, oh man, I don't want to go to that friggin' Mexican hospital again.
You are on quite a healing journey. It's so amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Wow.
I share it with joy because I know it is your passion area, and sometimes we find ways, and this is what makes each coach so unique, which is the bringing together of the different things that we're passionate about. So, I know you're very passionate about this topic, and not intellectually, but you've experienced it, and then you also have this way of raising energy that is why I find your show captivating, even though there's not a particularly lot of content necessarily, but it's just it's an energy presence. And I know that's your area, and then you combine it with song, and so somehow bringing those things together into a very specific transformation.
Thank you. Well, you probably didn't hear me earlier say, and I'll say it again now for whoever else has joined us. I see that Samara and Art are here. Welcome. That I have space in my schedule right now for two coaching clients. And if anybody on this call resonates with uh, any of the things that I've been talking about here and could use some support in that, I am encouraging people to reach out and DM me so that we could have an exploratory conversation and discover whether we are a fit to work together.
I love that. I love that. And is there any particular specific thing, or would you just, be open to discover whatever people need help with?
Feel like I'm open to discover. I'm open to discover. I mean, obviously I have my areas of passion. And so if it's in that, then we can, move forward. If not, maybe I can refer them to somebody else because I know a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so that's so good. That's so good. I high five you about that. And the reason why is because discovery sessions are truly the way for you and for anybody listening to find that area,
Mhm.
because you do, and you kind of only do. That's what I feel like, and you've been putting yourself out there with your show and everything, and getting into discovery session conversations like what you're talking about, with no particular expectation. That's super helpful for everybody, because then you can learn and they can find out as well.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean we all have a piece of the puzzle and we all have blind spots, and just sharing with someone and having fresh eyes and ears, it from a neutral person who's not like emotionally suffering in the ways that we
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
can bring clarity, and that's clarity is our liberation, right? Once
Yeah.
we understand what is ailing us, we can figure our way out of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I can so relate to that. Like I said, with my experience with that naturopath,
Uh-huh.
and one of the things that I learned from the coach, who I was just, talking to with his speaking program, he mentioned how, the habits, he had to use a slightly different word, but the daily habits that we do are blind to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're invisible to us. And so when I went to that naturopath, I honestly thought that my eating was pretty decent, and it probably was better than most people's. But in regards to like having low energy and poor circulation, and different conditions that, like I said, in my early 50s were starting to emerge, that was the cause to it. And I was blind to it. I didn't notice. I didn't It was just what I did basically. I worked until 7, 8 o'clock sometimes, and so having dinner at 9 or 10, and then a drink to relax was, that had become a habit, and that was the recipe for my for my disaster. And it was quite a quite a problem. I mean, it's really sucking my energy.
Yeah, well, when you think about it, pouring alcohol on putrefying flesh
Yes,
in your
exactly.
gut is like
Exactly.
it's
I'm
like
not
wow.
I'm not ashamed to talk about it because again,
Yeah,
many people do it. It's very common. And
yeah.
like you said,
It's what
I'm here
yeah.
in Playa del Carmen, and everybody's doing it here, and I even notice you also be proud of me. I haven't had any alcohol since that experience. But I do go into the grocery store and I'm like, man, the friggin' alcohol is like right in front of you. I mean, it's right in front of it's like candy, but even more so. I mean, they really put it like everywhere. And of
Hmm.
course, in all the restaurants here, it's expected, right? I think the waiters would think you were strange if you didn't order a drink here.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It's a coping strategy.
Yeah, when people are, they're unwinding as well. And so that's another thing too, which is, how do we unwind? And that is a thing we need to do, to
Hmm.
unwind. And again, I know you've got a lot of, little tools in your toolkit, movement and sound and, dance and different things like that. And I see, other people who are, kind of in my orbit who are doing things around sound and movement and things like this. The thing that makes the difference in terms of, let's say, coaching and bringing transformation is putting it together into a program and not having it random. Because if it's random, it doesn't really have much value,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's also it makes it such that, because it's random and it's not programmed, it has no order to it and different things like that. People will do it or not do it or whatever. But like I said, I know you've got a lot of, tools in your
Well,
tool.
that's where you come in and you
Yes, that's
and not here actually because nobody else is here. But
okay.
if you go back to the Facebook group, um, and you pop in your information, people can reach out to you. I highly
Okay.
recommend Geo
Thank you.
for his transformational business coaching uh, program. He is really amazing at helping people find their niche and create a program around it to offer, that is coherent and in alignment with what they're about. So I would love for some people on here to reach out to you.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah, I will drop the link, and it's really to my Wellpreneur community on Facebook. That's the place where people can most connect, to me and a lot of the free content that I put out. And I also do, like you, live streams on Wednesday at noontime Pacific time. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yay.
Well, Tess, so good to see you, and I'm so happy it's working out. And I knew I think I was doing something last Tuesday, but then the first time there was something funny about it, and I couldn't find, the link. And it is, I'll just say this, that, I like Zoom and everything, but it's kind of a slightly higher of a commitment, whereas, what you can watch on Facebook live stream and not be as committed, if that makes any
You're
sense.
saying that's a good thing or I'm
It's
not
a
sure.
it's a good thing for, yeah, for people, let's say, who don't want necessarily to, to be in the
Reveal
spotlight.
themselves.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, if you're going to be in Zoom, you're kind of committed. And
Yeah,
so
I'm not sure I like it better. I'm not sure that because there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot to like when you're broadcasting live on Facebook, it's automatically recording. When you're doing it on Zoom, you have to set it up to do that. You have to start it. You have to,
yeah,
make the Facebook Live start going. And I've learned that it doesn't do multiple platforms. It could do one platform. So even though I set it up so that it can do Facebook and it can do YouTube, I can only live stream to one of them at a time from Zoom. So
yeah,
I am paying for Restream, which would allow me to do
Multi
multiple
multi-stream. Yeah.
simultaneously. But for this particular program, I think I still might be better off on Zoom. And then if I want to take people into a private program, then I can
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Can I
Private program is perfect on Zoom. So
Yeah, this seems like it may not be, maybe overcomplicating things. So
yeah.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
I'm going to keep doing it like this.
Well, still, I applaud you, and it looks good. So that is a positive thing. Like you have a horizontal view, so we see, more of you and more, more of your background environment and stuff like that. So that's a good thing.
Cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, Tess, I'm gonna jump off and
All right.
get.
Thanks for being here.
All right.
Much love. All right. All right. All right. All right. Any new comments come in? So it says Art is watching. Samara, I don't know if you're the only two, if there's anyone else, but this is Voices of the Global Awakening, Tuesdays with Tess, episode number 33, the auspicious master number 33, which is all about the path of play. And if you are in your Dharma, that Deepak Chopra said that when a person is in their Dharma, you cannot tell whether they are working or playing. So we're doing a whole episode on that premise to really support, encourage, and give permission to activate that part of ourselves that is that innocent child back in the garden that just absolutely knows this whole thing is a divine play. This is a grand lila, and we might as well not take it quite so seriously. Find our sense of humor, share our light, make ourselves and make one another happy. So I was telling people at the beginning of this that normally I get the advertising out for the following week by like Thursday or Friday at the latest. And at the worst, I'll usually do it on Sunday. Today, I didn't get it out until today. And as of last night, when I was getting a training on all this Zoom technology stuff, I was noticing that I wasn't happy. I wasn't in my joy. I wasn't feeling good. And it was like, I'm not having fun. Do I really even want to be doing this? And it was like, well, maybe I'm burnt out. Maybe I'm at the end of the road with this thing. But there's this, well, the show must go on. And this is the auspicious episode number 33. So I didn't want to just disappear. And I decided, okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to be here with you at least this week. We'll see what happens again. I'm a tantrika. If you know anything about the tantric path, it is all about following energy, not agenda, and being true to yourself moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, and following your bliss, following what feels good, which is the opposite of how we've been programmed. If any of you are familiar with the teachings of Abraham Hicks, which is kind of one of my early influences on the more metaphysical journey that I've been on for half my life, probably at this point. One of the things they said is they're like a non-physical consciousness. This is the story about them that speaks through this woman named Esther Hicks, and they're a collective energy that goes by the name Abraham. And they said that we observe humans, and we don't know where you got this idea that if it feels bad, it must be good for you. And if it feels good, it must be bad for you. And we want to set the record straight with you right here, right now. And the truth is that good feels good and bad feels bad. So so we're trying to like tease out the programming and the guilt and the shoulds, and really switch to get tos. In fact, I don't know if I have it handy. Yeah, I do. Right here. I don't know if you can see this. You probably, it's too bright. Is my get to do list. It's not a to do list. It's not a should list. It's a get to do because all the world is a stage, and we are the characters in our bodies on stage, living, breathing, talking, walking, singing, dancing, eating, taking a bath, taking a shower, washing the dishes, whatever it is that we're doing. We get to do this. We are here in bodies. We have voices, we have eyes, we have minds, we have hands. We are the hearts, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You're a blessing, I'm a blessing, we're a blessing to the world. So we may as well have fun doing it. We may as well reconnect with that childlike playfulness and enjoy, choose and decide to enjoy whatever we are doing. I don't know if you've ever heard the expression, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Well, what does that mean? Well, my interpretation of that is that before enlightenment, we may see the mundane tasks of the physical world as very tedious and very oppressive and very boring. But after enlightenment, anything that we do, anything that we put our attention to, is a privilege, is a blessing, is a miracle. We are here. We are in these bodies. We are fortunate beyond measure. And if we are in touch with that, we can have a sense of humor. We can have a sense of delight. We can have a sense of glee. We can be connected to the wow. So that is what I'm here to talk about today, episode number 32, The Path of Play. So I am checking the Facebook group right now to see who is still here with me. And I've popped in the Zoom link. Oh, I didn't pop in the Zoom link. I did pop it in earlier in the thread. And I also, it's at the top of my page, but I'm going to do it again. I have to put the whole post in. You just have to grab it out of there because it's too much for me to do to pull it all out. So anyway, so where are we at? We are at 6:48. Wow, the time is flying. So anyway, if you're still watching and you have the inspiration and the courage to join me in the Zoom room, I would love to spend these last 10 minutes with you and learn about you, learn how you play, how you blow off steam and cope and find your passion and your peace and connect to your joy in this grand, amazing experience that we call life. That's what we're up to. So I'm going to look back at my little song list to see if there is anything else that I want to share with you today. And I do think if you have an opinion about, if you've been watching and you have an opinion about where is the more easeful platform to engage, please give your opinion to me, because I do want to take it into consideration, and maybe by next week I will come back and just broadcast directly from Facebook again. because without a wing person doing all this other stuff, it may be a little much for me. I mean, part of my pleasure is to be what I describe as a spiritual diva. And so it's like as much grace and ease as I can experience and transmit. That is what makes my heart happy. It is trusting that life, that existence is taking care of me. And that's just the truth of the way things are. Any other perception is an illusion based on my programming. And so my programming has determined the eyes through which I have been viewing the world. And so it takes a bit to retrain ourselves. And if you need any support with that, I am having space right now for 2 coaching clients. If you would like to DM me, and we can set up an appointment time for us to have a private conversation to see if we are a fit to working together, that would be delightful. So it is my pleasure and my thrill to serve you and to be here. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be here this week, but I'm here and it's feeling really good right now. So there's something about showing up. There's something about keeping our commitments to ourselves. And that at this moment, I feel like I'm getting some good value out of. So, okay. So what else? Somebody used the word grok in a group that I am a member of today, and somebody else said, wow, I can't believe that you used that word. It doesn't seem like a lot of people know it. And the way I recall it spelled is GROK. And it is from a book, a science fiction book that I think came out like in the 1980s, called Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein, Heinlein. And this it's a story about um, a man named Michael Valentine whose parents were astronauts that were sent up to create a inhabitable living station for human astronauts to observe Martian lifestyle and culture. And his parents became lovers and conceived him on this mission to Mars. And ultimately, they could not survive the atmosphere there, but he did survive, and he was raised by Martians with Martian consciousness. And when he turned about 21 years old, NASA sends up a team of astronauts to see if he's still alive and if they could find him and bring him back to Earth. So that is what happened. And so he comes back to Earth and he is sharing Martian consciousness with us Earthlings. And to grok something is to understand it at a very, very deep level, like viscerally understand something. And one of the things that he spoke about, which was like a saying on Mars, is that waiting is. And what that meant is that being in the void, in the not known, not rushing to answers, not rushing to solutions, but patiently waiting, patiently being is a legitimate thing. It is a legitimate focus. It is a legitimate use of our time and our energy. So if you tune into my broadcast, you will experience with me from time to time, that I will give myself and you permission to drop into the silence and simply wait for the next inspiration, or what is alive that is wanting to be shared or communicated through this vessel, through one of your vessels, if you give yourself permission to come on and share with me and share with all of us, because we are evolution is a team sport, and we are all part of a collective waking up together. And that is why this program is called Voices of the Global Awakening. So I thank you, as always, for coming to be with me. And if you would like to see this program continue, and if you would like to participate in having it expand, I really encourage you to share the link, whether before, during, or after, on your page, because there is a replay, and let others tune in, and let others then share it, because the nature of existence is expansion. And we all want and need to feel ourselves grow. And so it is infinitely more satisfying to experience growth than to experience a kind of stuckness. And so I am deriving great value from this experiment, the simulation that I have kept going now for 33 weeks. And I would like to see it expand. It would be more affirming and life-giving for me to have hundreds or thousands of people tuning in, and seeing it thrive, and getting sponsors, and really starting to bring in guests who have written books, or have their own podcasts, or whatever, that I admire, and I respect their opinion and their take on existence, and think that they have something of value to share with all of us, as I believe that you do too, which is why I create this as an open platform, and really, really encourage you to come on in here and share your light. And the takeaway from this experience is the path of play. The path of play that is augmented by the number 33, that happens to be the episode for this week. And however you bring more play back into your day-to-day, I dare say moment-to-moment experience, I promise you, you will reconnect to your joy and your light heart, and that will make continuing to play your role and exist here in this dimension so much more fulfilling. So that is my little bit of my prescription, my little bit of medicine for you. And let's see if I have I'll do my little jingle, like just the way Carol Burnett had her little closing thing. I have my own little closing thing, and it goes like this. With a jingle on your tongue and a tingle in your heart, you will stay forever young. You will see the world as art. You will sing with every rainbow. You will wish upon each star. You will let yourself imagine. And this gift will take you far. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have ideas of topics that you would like to see explored here, if you have your own inspirational offering that you would like to come on and share about, pop links in the thread. This is a community. We want everybody to know what everybody is up to and find resonant people to play with. So I really, really encourage you to reach out to me if you're interested in any one-on-one coaching, if you resonate with me, if you feel that I'm a good listener and that I have a little bit of wisdom in this head that is uplifting and could support you on your own journey, please reach out to me as well. And with that, I will say thank you so much once again for tuning in. I wish you a blissful week, and I look forward to seeing you again. Infinite blessings. Namaste.